This show has grabbed me, and it will not let go. I read the graphic novels over the Easter holiday and was like, yep, I need to watch this show. And I was not disappointed. The characters are spot on, the world they created is so rich and alive, and they didn't back down from the bigger issues from the graphic novel. Today, let's look into the world of Heartstoppers and this very impactful first episode. Meet. Each episode title really reflects the topics for that episode, from Charlie and or Nick's point of view. This is the best title for the first episode, as we are obviously meeting the characters for the first time, but it's also the meeting of Charlie and Nick.
Hi.
The first person we meet is Charlie, entering the school, and we see that he's happy until he walks into the dark library, and we know that everything's not okay. In less than 2 minutes, we already feel so much for Charlie, and the only word he has said is,
Ben?
We already have an idea about Ben too, with just those 2 messages, but we'll get into his character later in the video. Then we get to meet Nick Nelson, the star rugby player, and if Charlie's eye roll is to be understood, the complete opposite to Charlie himself. The moment Charlie sees Nick, however, everything changes. The world gets bright again. There are rainbows, and the leaves from the graphic novel fill the air. What a moment to really understand a person's first reaction to someone. We also get introduced to Charlie's friends, but we'll talk about them more in a future video. Some opening episodes of a show take a while to get going, but not this one. Within 2 minutes, we know heaps about Charlie, and with 8 minutes, we have set up all our main players for the first few episodes. Now, let's look into the 3 main characters for this episode. Ben. Yeah, I know, he's the worst, but we're here to look into why, and we cannot do that unless we understand him first. To me, he is just as important to the story as Nick, for understanding how different people handle what they're going through. More than that, he is a fantastic example of how somebody's words can deeply affect a person. We don't see all of this yet, but it's there, and his character is set up beautifully. The first we see of him is his name, and the message, I can't wait to see you. You feel like this is a nice person, wanting to see his boyfriend after a holiday. Then we get, actually, can we meet up at break instead? Charlie's changing mood aside, you are already asking the questions like, if you cannot wait to see him, why aren't you waiting? And more importantly, why were you not at the front of the school waiting to see him? Even if you're not out in public, you can still meet up in public, right? When they do meet up at break, there are just red flags all over the place. On the surface, it is 2 people catching up after a holiday, but that's not what's happening here at all. Ben is using his words and actions to keep Charlie under control. His use of sweet language like,
I miss your face so much.
And
You're so cute.
are used to unstable Charlie. We see Charlie be awkward but happy about the compliments, and Ben knows it. We also see that when Charlie asks him how his break was, he deflects, and shuts Charlie up from answering by kissing him. These are all ways to control Charlie. If you had any doubt that Ben was manipulating Charlie, as the bell rings, Ben wipes his lips while staring at Charlie and calls out,
Still don't tell anyone about this.
as he runs off. This is so disrespectful. With his actions, he is saying, I am wiping myself clean of you. And his words are so degrading because Charlie would already know that they're keeping it a secret. He doesn't need to be reminded of what they're doing. And Charlie just stands there, stunned, like he's been involved in a drive-by kissing accident. Ben uses these methods of control at all times. So when Charlie tries to break out of the rules and he says hi to him in the corridor, Ben is so rude to him for no reason. And then a heartbeat later is all friendly with Nick. Even Nick looks confused about what's happening. Even if you don't want people to know you're going out or whatever this messed up relationship is, you can still be nice to people. He does say sorry when they're alone, but we can see that the spell is breaking for Charlie, thanks to Nick. Swinging in the complete opposite direction, we have Nick Nelson as the best person ever. Okay, fine, we don't know that yet, but we do learn that he is a nice, friendly guy and is happy to be seen talking to Charlie. When we first meet him, we kind of get caught up in Charlie's thoughts. But taking a step back, and you have to wonder, why is he sitting alone writing in his book? Everyone else in the room seems to be talking and joking, probably catching up after the holiday. But not Nick. He's in a world of his own, no one around him, and head down, not inviting anyone to talk. When Charlie sits down, he waits for Charlie to talk first. I wonder if he's having his own leaf moment, like Charlie, but then he goes back to his book. Then we get the hi montage. and he says hi first every time, no matter where they are. He also smiles every time. Nick's face as they pass in the corridor has to be my favourite, as he looks so happy, like saying hi to Charlie is the highlight of his day. When they're walking to maths, we finally get to know who Nick is. Someone that will do the right thing, like doing his own homework and not letting Charlie do it, even though Charlie offers. Someone that can have a laugh at himself and with others. He is happy to go to Charlie for help when his pen explodes, and he wants to make the best out of a situation. Like,
It looks like I'm wearing blue gloves.
You can make it the new school fashion.
I'll pretend it's a tattoo.
and with the smiley face.
Better?
The scene at the lockers doubles down on all of this. We see that he pays attention to Charlie, noting how fast he can run and that he can play the drums.
That's so cool.
All of this showing that he is open and fun, allowing Charlie to be the same.
So you're saying I am small and weak?
Wait, no. No.
The last thing I want to highlight at this point is how honest and supportive Nick is of Charlie. It's small right now, but so important going forward. Nick says he'll teach Charlie how to play rugby, and we see him actually do it. We also see him encourage Charlie to give things a go,
Where is your can-do attitude?
and telling him when he's done a great job.
Well done.
This helps Charlie to keep trying, which in turn gives him more confidence. Now, speaking of, Charlie. Where do I even start with Charlie? What he goes through in this episode alone is nuts. At the start of the episode, we have a person that is a roller coaster of emotions. Happy to disappointed to happy all in one morning before school starts. He reacts to the people around him like he's just caught up in it all and not sure where he fits in. This changeability in him comes from not knowing, or forgetting how, to stand up for himself and knowing his own mind. He is in an abusive relationship with Ben, but he doesn't question how he's being treated until Nick is in his life. Ben got to him when Charlie was emotionally low, and because of this, Charlie can't quite see himself without Ben. But Nick's friendly nature and genuine interest in him allows Charlie to want more. We see this when he says hi to Ben in the corridor. He has been doing it all the time with Nick, so why shouldn't he do it with Ben? And Ben shuts him down hard.
Why are you talking to me? I don't even know who you are.
This finally gets Charlie thinking. When Ben and he catch up in the dark library, Ben tries to apologise, but we see Charlie look at the smile from Nick. Nick's presence in this moment allows Charlie to see that he wants more from a relationship. We do see him act on this. This is one thing Charlie is amazing at, acting once he's made up his mind. We see this with him saying hi to Nick first, and again when he breaks up with Ben, after Ben was kissing a girl in public. I kind of wish he sent the I hate you message, but the final one was a good call to get him out of this bad situation. And at this point, he wouldn't say I hate you to anyone. That's too big of an emotion for someone that admits
It's better to be honest about your feelings in the long run.
I hate being honest.
I know.
and wants everything to be fine and perfect all the time. He says sorry, but he doubles down and won't give in to the pestering messages that Ben fires at him, showing that he can stick to his guns and his decisions that he's made. The next morning, we see him playing with his food. I'm sure that won't come up again. Nick's presence in his life continues to boost his confidence as they go through the rugby training together. And then we get to that scene. This is when all three characters come to life, and we see the best and worst of them. Charlie's resolve finally breaks in the onslaught of messages from Ben, and he goes to him. Ben is angry, but Charlie lays down the rules in a way that we haven't seen from him so far, and doesn't let Ben touch him. Ben gets his back up and immediately goes on the attack, but it doesn't work, and we see the fear in his eyes as he's lost control over Charlie. Charlie goes on the attack with facts. He's even the bigger person and says that he would have been there for Ben as he figured himself out, but that's not what's going on here. At least, not all of it, and Charlie calls him on his BS.
We'll never meet up when you want to, where you want to, when you feel like kissing a boy.
Ben, backed into a corner, swings the abusive blow and digs in the personal attack,
Well, it's not like anyone else is going to want to go out with you, is it?
and Charlie loses all his fight. All the hurt in him cannot stand up to that, and Ben takes advantage and attacks him physically. Ben might be confused at the moment, but nothing excuses this. In this moment, when Charlie cannot fight anymore, emotionally or physically, Nick can, and pulls Ben away. Nick, who noticed Charlie and noticed something was wrong, who followed just to make sure everything was okay, is there to save Charlie and force Ben away. With Ben gone, Nick makes sure that Charlie is okay, but Charlie avoids the question, as he doesn't want to admit that he's not. Nick remains honest and confirms that, yeah, he heard most of the conversation. Then he even makes Charlie laugh about saying sorry too much.
You say sorry a lot. Don't say it.
I kind of want to say it.
Don't.
We get the shoulder slap of a friend that is not sure what else to do, but knows he needs to do something to connect with his friend. As they part ways, you see Nick still lost in thought about what happened and what could have happened if he hadn't have been there. This worry doesn't go away until he gets the message from Charlie. He can finally smile again. For Charlie's part, he doesn't know how to thank Nick for what he has done. But when he does send the message, you truly feel that it's the most honest thing he has written or said in the episode, finally allowed to show his true self to someone that will protect it. This is a show that's put its hooks in me and will not let me go. The characters are amazing. The stories and the things they are going through feel so real, but in an approachable way that I have never seen before. The music and cinematography are phenomenal and something we'll need to talk about going forward, and I cannot wait to be able to talk about some of the other characters and see where Nick and Charlie grow over the show. If you don't want to miss episode 2's analysis, make sure you subscribe. And as always, thank you for watching, and let's see what other secrets we can uncover next time on Nerdy Investigations.